Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Now that it has been a little while since we shared your story on here, how do you feel about having it out in the public?
Honestly, I don't really care. I'm happy people know about it, though.
How does it feel to know that you could be like walking down the street and you might see somebody and they could see you and know? Like you might not know that they know, but they know.
I mean, if it's someone who like bullies me at school, yeah, I kind of feel like good if it's a good thing.
Yeah.
If it's a bad thing, just walk away.
So do you have any regrets about talking about it so far?
Mm-mm.
Does it feel scary talking about it?
I mean, it feels scary that knowing that I don't know where he is.
Yeah. Does it feel better talking about it?
It does, but I don't know where he is, so it's scary to think that I could be walking somewhere and he could be there and just hurt me or something. Even though he's not allowed to be near me. Which I don't know how that's gonna work.
Does it bother you that other people know your story?
Mm-mm. Other people, I'm proud that I tell them, unless it's his friends.
And his friends might know.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Scary?
Why?
Because they know me, because I'm his sister. And they know him.
And what could that mean?
That something could happen to me. They could tell him.
He could see my videos. Right?
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. It's just, it's kind of spooky to know that I don't know where he is. Which I'm guessing he's in a place close by, but not like in the same town. I think you know which place I'm talking about, because I'm not going to say it on here.
Have I asked you these questions before?
No.
Did I tell you I was asking you these questions?
No.
All right. There's her thoughts. Wasn't she cute?
Yes.
And humble.
No, not.
I wish that I could allow you to see this beautiful little girl's face, just to see her searching for appropriate answers, her body language, that sort of thing. And I think she said something about, honestly, yeah, I'm happy I did this. And when somebody frames a sentence with the word honestly, either they're lying or they themselves have some disbelief around it. That's just one of those language cues. So I want to give you the backstory, and I'm going to link this video over to the other video where this mother is adoptive mother is exposing her 12-year-old daughter on the internet because of the CSA that she endured from her older brother, who was, and I think it's important to point out, between the ages of 9 and 14 during the time that he was molesting his younger sister. And there was a point in time where CPS was involved, where it was suspected, where the little girl did tell on her brother and then recanted. And because she recanted, according to the mother, the mother just blindly believed her, and yeah, they put safety measures in place. Well, clearly there wasn't enough supervision and safety measures going on to make sure that this didn't continue to happen, and it did continue to happen. And her defense is, what am I supposed to do, watch him 24/7? Look, you had cameras in your house. You obviously know technology enough to make TikToks, so fuck right off with that. That's where I am with that. So backstory. She adopted this little girl's older brother. At least he's a half brother to this little girl. He might be a full brother, but he's biologically related to her. And at the time of his adoption, she was not born yet. It was an open adoption. He was around 5 or 6 years old. And here's where I want to throttle this mother, because, let me tell you what she's saying. She said that when the little girl was born, that he specifically said that if she ever is going to be given up, he doesn't want her to go into care and go through what he went through, and that he wants to make sure that they adopt the little girl. The way she tells the story is to insinuate that he, at the time that this child was born, so he's 18 now, she's 12 now, they're 5.5 to 6 years apart. So at the time, 6-7-year-old him had this grand plan to M his little sister, and she can fuck right off with that too. Clearly, both of these children have been through an extraordinary amount of trauma. And given that the little boy was in foster care and didn't want his sister to endure what he did, I think it tracks that he probably did go through some CSA, and who knows how that was dealt with. This little girl is not in therapy because her favorite therapist isn't available through, the court system. The parents have enough money to, buy all sorts of knickknacks and go to Hawaii and work on an old car that's like an extra car, but they don't have enough money to make sure she's in therapy consistently. They can also fuck right off with that. Or do you regret it? Does 12-year-old you regret 12-year-old you? Okay, I'm so angry. For, exposing yourself online. Do you regret it? Is this woman in her right mind? Well, no, she's not. She's not. We as adults are supposed to put cover over our children. Adopted, not adopted, I don't give a fig, right? And at the end of the day, this child being 12 years old, and we know that we don't become full-formed intellectual adults till we're about 26, doesn't have the capacity or understanding around the ramifications of her sharing what she's been through online. And I can guarantee you that every time she goes into a new school, because she quit her old school, she buckled under whatever pressure was going on. She was being bullied. And now everywhere she goes, she has a social media presence, a digital footprint that her mother has created for her, exposed her visually. So it's not like, oh, I recognize that mother. Oh, it's that little girl. No, it's that little girl. So every place she goes, she never has the opportunity for reinvention, for privacy, for people not knowing things that she should be able to share individually based on who she trusts, not out in the wild, wild west of the internet, for starters. And I'm a creator on here, and I can tell you how unempathetic and that adults can be. I can tell you how mean the trolls are. I'm a grown person. And there have been times, not anymore, because now I'm really accustomed to it, but it's been 5 years where people would say things to me online that would really rattle my cage. Now, it's nothing to me because it just isn't, it doesn't bother me anymore. However, I'm a grown-up person making my own decisions and living with the consequences of my actions that I have knowledge around based on my life experience. And she's a little girl and she's getting hate on the internet. And let me tell you something else. People who like to harm children will look for a child like this. And you think it's really difficult to find anybody on the internet nowadays? Come on. She is putting her in physical harm's way, emotional harm's way, full stop. And I don't understand where CPS is. Also, the boy just turned 18. He has never been charged. He's been in and out of psychiatric facilities from what sounds like the beginning of time, according to this mother. He's had problems with psychosis, according to the mother. He's had problems with seizures, according to the mother. And I have to keep saying according to the mother, because I do not believe her as far as I can throw her. I believe the little girl. Let's be very clear about that. She talks about his drug abuse when he was like 13. Where the fuck were you? Not in therapy. She herself is not in therapy to figure out how to better deal with her own children. Red flag. Making him the problem. Scapegoat. Yeah, and he's low-hanging fruit because he's got a lot of trauma to recover from, and he's being re-traumatized by being in an environment that clearly isn't structured and safe and doesn't have the kind of parents that protect their children. And if this sounds really judgy McJudgy and mom shaming, fucking fine. Fine. It's wrong to put a minor on the internet and expose their life. It's wrong that she's been doing this and talking about her son who just turned 18 from the time that he's a minor. It's wrong that she's showing this little 12-year-old's face. And by the way, you could tell the 12-year-old is afraid of her older brother finding her, right? Seeing the content. Like, she paused at different points, being afraid that his friends will see it because they know who she is. So she's telling her mother, but her mother's not listening. Because what her mother's doing is justifying her actions. People have commented, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be exposing her. She even had the little girl go on and make a video, and she says, oh, she wanted to do it to defend her actions, the mother, saying, I want to be online. I want to talk about this. And she may feel that way. That doesn't mean it's the right decision, and she doesn't have the wisdom or the intellectual capacity to make that decision for herself. She is below the age of consent, and now she will have something that follows her the rest of her life that she has nothing to be ashamed for. I'm a survivor of CSA from my grandfather and my grandmother. I am a survivor of CSA from many other people, of SA, of DV, of a mother who's a sociopath and a narcissist. I don't carry the burden of the shame around any of that. I'm also an adult sharing my story with the ability to understand what the consequences of doing so is. And there are consequences, make no mistake. I'm single, I'm in the dating world, and I know for a fact that there are some people who watch my content and I end up on a date with them and they think that I'm an easy mark. I know it. I know by what they bring up and how they behave. This is a path that I've chosen. Advocacy, healing, helping people heal. That is a path that I have chosen, and those are consequences that I occasionally have to live with, and I'm okay with it because I'm an adult. Tell me what you think, people. Tell me what you think. I've reported this video. I've reported this creator. I will continue to do so. Yeah, I would really like to find out where they live enough to be able to get CPS involved again. It's really sad to think that this little girl's life is going to be turned upside down yet again. If this mother really, really loved her daughter in the way that is a healthy love, instead of trying to capitalize on what the child has gone through and build a platform out of it, she would have that child in therapy, and she herself would be there as well, and so would the husband for that matter. He might be, I don't know. And she has admitted that in the past she's been in therapy and she doesn't go anymore. When you have a child who has been through something so incredibly traumatizing and horrific as a parent, and I'm going to tell anybody and everybody out there, I want to shout it from the rooftops. If you yourself don't go to therapy to garner the tools that you need to best support that child, you aren't showing up. You aren't doing everything you can to help that child heal, because there are things that you need to know in order to be able to do that. And not for nothing, if that happens to your child, you need to be able to heal. And there are just certain things that we're not meant to do alone without professional support. So, yeah, I'm just devastated for this little girl. And for the little boy, because you know what? He just turned 18, and his life is ruined, right? He's marked forever because this woman is recognizable in their community. And as the little girl said, they're in proximity. And again, he was between the ages of 9 and 14, allegedly, right? We don't know what his ages were. She's saying that. I believe the little girl hasn't said anything about the ages or anything, so I can't go, well, the little girl said, and I absolutely believe that. These are things that the mother is sharing in videos where the little girl isn't present. So there's that. Okay, I'm just going to leave it here because I'm actually speechless and too angry to continue.